Okay, I think this is working. And just gonna test something here real quick. Okay. All right, I think I'm live. Okay, so my goal for today is to build out the basic shell of an app, and to I hope to be able to reach something resembling Hello World, but accessing the EOS blockchain. And then if I succeed in that with enough time remaining, then I will go ahead and create what's the word? A GitHub project for this project. All right, so with that, let's set about it. So for now, I'm calling this whole thing Upland Blockchain Data Project, and I know that's a lousy name. So please send me your name suggestions. If you send me an idea and I use it, I may have something for you. I want to be careful what I promise, but yeah. Let me put it this way: I think I'll have something for you. Token of appreciation. I seem to be experiencing a little bit of lag. I don't really know what that's all about. I don't have anything running in the background other than the stream. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with an empty solution, because that's what I like to do. Blank solution. So this is going to be Upland Upland blockchain data project. I'll go ahead and have that in repos. So the solution is going to be my container for everything. And I know right off the bat, so my target is going to be .NET 5.0. Eventually I'll probably build some kind of a web interface, but to begin with, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to separate the interface from the logic. So to do that, what I really want to do is I want to start with a library. So I'm going to do I'm going to do a .NET .NET 5 library. I'm not sure where I need to go to do that. I'm guessing that not Razor, not WPF, not .NET Framework, because this is going to be the classic .NET Framework, which only goes to version 4.8, I believe, 4 point something anyway. It might be the .NET Core, or they may have separated it. I'm going to try .NET Core. So, Upland blockchain data project lib. And there's class 1, which I will delete because I don't care about it. And then I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to see if it'll let me target 5.0. It does, .NET 5.0. Okay. So you notice the 5.0 doesn't say core, so that's why I wasn't sure if it would be included in the core template, but it is. So there you have it. Excellent. All right, and then I'm going to create another new project, and this is going to be a test project. So I'm going to make it an NUnit test project.NET Core. And this is going to be Upland blockchain data project lib test. Pardon me just a moment while I turn that alarm off. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to call this null. And in here I'm going to put null test, and this is just to make sure that that everything is working. So we're going to call this test. We're going to call a class null tests. This is not strictly necessary, but something that I like doing when I create a an NUnit project. It just gives me a basic test that I know will pass and one that I know will fail that I will then disable. just to make sure that I know that everything is working. All right. So this is going to be pass, and this is going to be like so. All right. So I should be able to run the tests. There we go, run tests. Okay, so there we go. Fail, failed. Pass, passed. As expected. All right. So I will disable fail by commenting out a test attribute there, because when I'm actually testing things, I don't want to fail. So in this case, I was just testing the test framework. All right, so everything passes. It's interesting that it ran a lot faster this time. Okay. So now we've got a tester. Now I'm going to add a console app just to work as sort of a place to play around in and execute code. It's not really a test. It's just sort of so we can test. All right, .NET Core console app, and I'm going to call this console sandbox because I'm going to be using it for lots of different things. All right. So if I go ahead and run console sandbox, I should see hello world. And there it is, hello world. Okay. All right, so now I need to get into the blockchain. So I went ahead and made some notes here ahead of time just so I wouldn't be spending a lot of time on the stream reading. And also I wanted to kind of know that I was going to be able to achieve this before I planned the stream. So I've got the documentation for the API, and I'm going to download it. And Alright, so I'm going to go download, and I'm going to put that into this library. So I'm going to do open in File Explorer. Quick way to grab this folder is to just open that and then paste that into here. And then we're going to call this the EOCO chain API dot 1.0.0 dot JSON. Actually, I don't like these dots here. I'm going to change these to underscores. Alright. Alright. Now, I can go back to here, and I'm going to... Oh, okay, I was going to add to project, but apparently it automatically detected it and added it to the project. So what I'm going to do instead is go directly to here, and then I should be able to choose... should be able to add a reference. Add service reference. And here, service references Open API. So this is where I want to go. And we're using Open API. And I want to use a file. That file. So that should make a wrapper around the API. While that's going, I'm just going to take a quick peek and see if there's any of you out there. Looks like there's one viewer. So hi, whoever you are. Looks like my stream is a little bit behind, about a minute maybe. Okay, that's still going. So, while I'm waiting, I do want to announce, much to my satisfaction, that after my first video, my channel has a total of 3 subscribers, and I'm proud to say that one of the 3 is not myself or my son. So I know it's early beginnings, but that's one subscriber outside of my family, and I'm looking forward to many more. I don't know why this is taking so long. I really hope to not fill up the stream with just staring at the screen. getting a message telling me I'm using suboptimal resolution. I'll have to investigate that sometime. Okay, this seems to be done now. So this installed the NuGet packages that I need, including nswag, and then added the service reference. It called it the EOS EO chain IPA1 client, which is a name and a half, but I suppose that's what I got myself into, giving the file that name. Alright, so what do I want to do now that I've created that? Let's actually go in here to the API and see what do I want to do for a hello. And I think I could just use get info, which is very generic, but I think I'm going to use get account and get my account. So let me I'm going to blank the screen here for just a moment because I don't want to be sharing passwords, and then I'm going to open Upland, and then I'll show the screen again. Once I'm past the sign-in prompt. It is being really quite slow. Not sure what's going on with that today. Certainly didn't do that when I was doing my intro video last week. Alright, well, let's assume that I'm going to do get account, and I'll start working on the basics for that. And then when Upland finally gets around to loading, I will go deal with that. So, alright, I've got the video turned back on, and let's do for today. So my intention is to have this library contain all of the code that I want related to accessing the blockchain. So along with, well, most of the logic, I guess. But let's go ahead and add a class. And I'm just going to call it UBDP controller. And we'll do public void get my account. Now, this is of course not the way I would structure something that I'm going to use. Remember, this is just a basic hello world to make sure we can get data off the blockchain. So I will refine this before having anything resembling a version 1. And we're going to want the, let's see, I'm going to want a controller, a constructor. And in that constructor, actually, I don't need a constructor anymore. I want a EOS IO pane API 100. And I'm going to call it pane equals new. This is the new capability that in the newer version of C#, where I can just say new instead of specifying a type if I've specified the type over here in the declaration. Alright, and I don't know why that's not offering me that. It's possible I have to include a namespace. Yeah, it's not coming up. Alright, so I added the reference, and I know that the reference is there. So what's the class called? Here somebody showed me, if I do show all files and go into object, then I can see the generated, oh, it's not here. Oh, isn't that interesting? Maybe I need to build. This is the first time I've worked with an auto-generated OpenAPI reference, so not quite sure what I need to do to access it. Let me do class view. Okay. Class view. Well, I told you I was be doing things I'd never done before. Oh, I see. It didn't build. That's because I have this reference in here that I knew wouldn't work. Maybe that'll solve my problem. What do we have here? Okay. So with this actually generating the code is got an error. And I don't know why. This was supposed to be auto magic. That's what I get for not looking at my error output, I guess. Is there something wrong with the... Just said it exited with error code -1, which is an error. Oh, here we go. Exception has been thrown. Target of invocation. Exception has been thrown by the target of an invocation. File not found. Could not find the file. Users, stream, source, repos, Upland. Oh. Oh, it doesn't like spaces in the file name. Alright. We can fix that. So I'm going to go to close solution. I thought we were in a day and age where we could figure that out, but apparently we're not. So I'm going to rename my folder to take out the spaces. And I don't know why there's no solution file here. Yes. Okay. Open a project or solution. Yeah, here we go. Okay, try this again. Okay, I've still got errors, but they're not the same errors. So it still says failed. What do we have going on now? Done building project. Could not resolve the path. request body, content, application, schema, properties, account name. Okay. Oh, Upland blockchain data project. Oh. Okay. Get ABI, request body, content, application, JSON, schema, properties, account name. I don't know what that's all about. It has something to do with NSwag. So as I've often told my son, 10% of programming is writing your code and the other 90% is figuring out what was wrong with your code. So, yeah, this doesn't have any more detail. In fact, it has less detail. So this path, I recognize some of the terms in this. This is a path within the API. So I'm not really sure what the problem is here. I'm going to try to choose rebuild just to be sure. Interesting, I have fewer errors, but I still have one. The other thing that's weird is it seems to be having a problem with console sandbox, which is not. Not even related. I'm going to do the easy ones first. It should definitely be the library that has the error. Oh, it says up to date. Oh no, isn't that strange? Rebuild. So let's search for it. And swag with that text. I think that's universal. Yes. Okay, it doesn't like it there. Let's see what they have to say. This seems to be a similar issue. You know, I just assumed that this was a JSON file, and maybe it's not. Maybe that's what my problem is. So, Swagger can be JSON, or it can be Um, it's JSON. So yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I was going to say it could be JSON or it could be YAML, but this is definitely a JSON file. Looks like someone else had a very similar issue. They're using a YAML. Looks like they've got a little bit of a different path here. Yeah. This may be related to me changing my path, which it oughtn't be, but so let's try this. Let me go back to service references. And I'm going to remove it. And then I'm going to re-add it. Okay. View generated code. Try building the project again, alright? Nope, that didn't fix it. Alright, let's try. Can I go to edit? What do I get? Nothing. Learn more. What are additional code generation options that I can use? Yeah, all of that seems pretty straightforward. It's unlikely my change will fix it, but I'm trying anyway. Alright, what if this file name wasn't given to me? Maybe that somehow is too complex of a file name? What if I just make it chain API 1. Again, it's unlikely that this will make a difference. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of searching. If it takes very long, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream for the night and do some research offline, because I really don't want you to just sit here watching me do nothing. Referencing a schema for another file. Internet's very slow tonight, but that shouldn't be affecting my my code running. If that schema has an internal reference. Oh, this is very similar to what I'm seeing. Looks like as of a couple of months ago there was no solution. Well, that's annoying. I doubt this is the problem. This one says the components has to be on top, but I suspect that, yeah, this components is on top. So that's not the problem. Could not resolve path. This one's closer to the error. Could not resolve path in following test. Why I got invalid operation exception could not resolve path in the following test. This seems to be either a further explanation or a different person with the same problem. In any event, it does not seem to be an answer. Although this looks like it's the same person that had the issue in I don't know why the Stack Overflow one. I didn't intend to close that, so that one seemed to be pretty on point, even though there wasn't an answer. All right, well, that's coding. I'm going to peek and see if there's anyone out there. Seem to still have one person. Getting an alert saying I'm using a suboptimal resolution. I'm going to save that so I can look at it. I'll just go ahead and put it in this file here so that I can take a look at it when I'm not live. And wow, that's really, really slow. I'm going to try and redo this page. Let's take a look at this here. So we have servers, protocol, host, port. Yeah, that's pretty basic. Port default 8080. So then we have get account, which is the one I want to use. Get block, I assume getting a block. Get block info, I assume, is a shorter version of that only gets part of the block information, like maybe metadata. Get info, I've called that from a web browser. It's pretty basic info about the whole chain. Push transaction, send transaction, and push transactions. We're not going to actually be doing any sending because this is going to be, at least for the foreseeable future, this is going to be a reading the blockchain only. We're not going to be updating it. Get block header state, get ABI. I don't have any idea what ABI is, so if somebody could comment what an ABI is. I've seen that term. I can't find a definition of it anywhere. Maybe once I get this API working, I'll be able to query it and find out what I get. But if someone could leave a comment in one of the videos, I would be grateful. Get currency balance, that sounds like getting info about an account. Get required keys, probably to do something. Get producers, so I do know that on the EOSIO type blockchains, the producer is what we think of as the miner in other chains. I don't know how many EOS has. I know Wax, which is also the same structure of blockchain has 21. Get raw code and API. Okay. Get scheduled transaction. I assume that's for getting transactions that haven't been executed yet. Get table. I'm also not quite sure what get table is. That's something that I suspect is going to be pretty clear once I start calling it and see what data I get back. So I'm really just looking at these to waste time while I wait for this page to load. Here we go. It's loaded. All right. .NET assembly swagger.json nswag studio. Before moving forward, let's see what nswag is. They're using the file swagger.json. I wonder if I need to use that exact file name. That wouldn't quite seem to make sense, but yeah, and if this doesn't work, then I can abandon the Swagger, the definition, and I can just connect to it like I would to a generic RESTful API that doesn't have a published Swagger definition. Yeah, it's describing it. Okay, is this error mentioned here at all? Could not resolve the path, and I'm only going to go to the hash symbol. So I think that's important to identify what's going on here. No. So this is just a generic search result. So I'll probably read over that page, but it's not directly on point. And this one is directly on point, but oh no, that's not the one that was on point. Which one? Where's the one that was on point? Yeah, this one. So my error that I'm getting is it's unable to find what path exactly. It's interesting that it puts its output to the object folder. It's get API post. What's interesting to me is that how would it even know that that path existed if it can't find it? I wonder if this path exists anywhere as a reference. JSON schema. It does exist. Exactly like that is a quote. And it's a reference. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that query language very well. Alright, but that does give me something to investigate. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream right here. It's been about an hour since I started, and I don't want you to spend all your time staring at me reading things. So I know there's been more of that already than I'd like tonight.